Right. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Alhamdulillah, we meet again for second week. Right. So the title for today is on the supplier relationship management and strategic sourcing, which we will look into from the Islamic perspective standpoint. Oops. All right. Okay, so let's introduce what is supplier relationship management first, and might be throughout the lecture, I will use SRM as a short form, right? So, supplier relationship actually is a process of strategically managing relationship with the key suppliers, and actually the aim is to optimize value and also ensure mutual success between the parties involved. Right, so it goes beyond simple transaction, not only focusing on building a strong relationship. They also collaborate, partnership, and also in order to drive business growth and efficiency, right? So actually effective SRM involve assessing supplier strength, performance, and capabilities, and also developing strategies to develop this mutual benefit, right? So sort of is a win-win situation. Right. So let's see what is strategic sourcing. Right. So actually, this one is a very proactive and data-driven approach to procurement. Right. So we look into five elements, which is a basic requirement in strategic sourcing. Um, First, look into the TCO, which is total cost of ownership. That means we are looking at the all costs associated with the product and services, right? So, for example, we are buying the car, right? So we want the car coming with the total complete of, like insurance coverage, right? On the road price, right? So everything is covered. So that is part of total cost of ownership. Right. So for long term, secondly, look into the long term supplier relationship, which is we look into building strong collaborative relationship for better communication, risk mitigation, and also access to innovative solution. Thirdly, from data-driven decision making, this is relying on the spending pattern, market trends, and also supplier performance to make a decision, right? So fourth, on the risk management, including the diversify the suppliers, secure alternative sourcing, as well as the developing the contingency plan, right? So lastly, in strategic sourcing, we look into alignment with business goal. This is key, right? So we need to align to business strategy, whether it's focused on growth, sustainability, or innovation. So it depends on individual company strategy, right? Their goals. Okay, what are the benefits in sourcing? Actually, we need to aim for cost reduction, right? So improve efficiency among business and also enhance quality. Of course, this one for customer requirement, increase innovation as long and also supply chain resilience. Right. Okay. So we look into the context of modern digital supply chain now. Strategic sourcing actually plays a vital role in data visibility and analytic and also automation, right? So we have a lot of platforms that using this kind of innovation system, right? All right. So let's see relationship. We want to know what is the meaning of relationship from Islamic perspective. Right. So in our faith, we are taught of to nurture strong and healthy relationship, right? So on the kindness, respect, compassion, right? So towards the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? So the relationship here is talking about our personal growth or even self-development in creating unity and also harmony within the community. So that's part of it, right? So secondly is talking about the love and kindness. We know that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says so. None of you believe until he loved for his brother, and which he loved for himself. Right? So we need to love our brothers similar to how we love ourselves. Right? So next, talking about relationship is towards the effective communication. This is where Islam places a greater emphasis on power, right? The power of words is encourage us to choose our speech carefully, right? So we need to avoid, misleading message, right? So in order, to go for how effective the communication goes, right? So the words that we use need to be aligning to our supposed to be, right? Instead of, we are talking lies, or so forth. Okay. Right. So next, we look into relationship from the perspective of conflict, where we need to resolve with wisdom. Right. So the prophet also say the best of you that those who are best in character and most patient in dealing with people. So we have to be sabar, right? So it is in resolving the conflict. Okay, next we look into the rights and balance. Balancing the rights and responsibilities, right? Every one of us, we have our responsibilities, right? So how we want to balance these within our capacity and capabilities, right? So it says also, and to parents do good, to relatives, to orphan, the needy, the neighbor, right? So if the neighbor's fathers pass away, to the companion, right? So we need to companion the neighbors with, giving our shoulders, right? So all those actually spell out in Anisa, right? So it's talking about balancing and the rights and also responsibilities to the people surrounding us, right? So next, looking into the cultivating empathy and compassion, right? So in Hadith also, we are taught that compassion enables us to offer unvarying support, right? So whether be lending patient ears or providing comfort, so all those are being spelled out in Hadith, right? It's our requirement as a Muslim. Okay, so now from the relationship has been understood just now. So we look into the key aspect in SRM is that how the values we can adopt into the SRM, right? Okay, so SRM focus on strategy, right? So things that we need to improve the value chain efficiency, right? So look into the relationship building is part of the SRM and it's part of Muslim requirement, right? So we also look for enhanced innovation. Right, so we need to collaborate with suppliers among the partners within our business, right? So thirdly, look into the value optimization, how we can reduce risk together, right? So strong supplier relationship can help mitigate potential disruption, right? And also ensure more reliable in supply chain. Continuous improvement, yeah, it's not only for self-development. We need to continue to improve ourselves. From business standpoint also is a requirement, right? So we need to increase competitiveness for our products, right? So from the process wise, from the product wise, from the even delivery wise, and also cost, right? So we need to keep improving, right? So lastly, from the risk mitigation, Of course, we look into the stronger partnership because once this one is actually once we have a very good collaboration with our partners, either they are suppliers or buyers meaning the consumers, right, can achieve their goals, leading to more sustainable and successful relationship, right? Okay, in all, actually, if we are combining between both relationship, from Islamic perspective and also requirement for SRM itself, actually, all in all, we are talking about values in the chain, right? So the values in the chain. Last week, um, one of the brother asking, right? So I hold the question because I need to answer in this because it was covered within this topic. Okay, so how we add value to the chain among relationship with our suppliers, customers, all those. Okay, so we will go for next. Okay, so we look into value chain management principle first. Right? So how to create more value to customer and improve its competitive advantage. We have three different parties, right? So from the sourcing, from the delivery, and also after sales services. So all these need to be governed to add values to all the parties involved, right? To enhance. Secondly, look into to enhance business profitability. Of course, from business standpoint, we look into the profit, right? Economical, right? So improve efficiency and also ultimate better satisfying customers. Customer is our consumers, right? So whatever they want, we should be fulfilling. So for the business standpoint, how we want to convey customer satisfaction into our product processor, right? In order to meet their requirement. Okay, right. So lastly, to invest in high value decision lah, right? So this one is talking about services, right? So implement better, faster, quicker decision making, all those, which is the fastest we go, right? So and it will increase our profit margin, right? All right. So we look into actually value chain management principle is actually the aim to maximize the lifetime value of the product with insight. Insight meaning that the product itself, right? So the process we do, everything, how to make our product is more valuable. And secondly, look into how the value that can be put in terms of collaboration with our partners, right? And from the engagement standpoint, right? And to which is all the parties involved, which is our stakeholders, right? Okay. So we bring you a simple example on the coffee shop. Actually, value chain we have two different what we call that from internal and external. Right, so we look at internal portion first. Right, so from internal portion, the structure will be primary and also supporting, right? So, okay, so from primary, for is we are operating coffee shop. Yeah, I know everyone is coffee lovers, right? Okay, all right. So, if from the inbound logistic, right? So this is the main thing inside the primary of the coffee shop. We look into sourcing the beans. Like so, our bean suppliers, how and what are the values they can inject into the sourcing the beans. How, like last week, the process in certifying the suppliers, right? So we look into ethical in sourcing of the stuff, right? So this one is talking about inbound logistics from operation standpoint, how you want to roast it and brewing your coffee, right? So the activities involved from the hygiene standpoint, right? So from the quality, what else? And might be some of the coffee beans is you need to segregate by grading all those stuff, right? And it determine the pricing. So operation add values to that. right? So look into the outbound activities, right? Sorry, the outbound logistic from marketing, sales, and also we can improve our packaging, our selling, promotion, how we can put our coffee might be from the can, from the bottle, the cups, all those, and how to make it more reliable, right? So now, if we are trying to avoid plastic packaging that harmful to environment, so what are the options that we have? So all these are values that we are putting into outbound logistic area, right? Okay, so lastly, of course, from the service standpoint, last but very, very important because customer is our end, right? So they are determine our our profit margin, all the stuff, right? So now from service standpoint might be if you are in the coffee shop, how to what the values to add in order to not to have a long queues, right? So customer might be not happy for long queues, all those stuff, right? So we will go for next explanation in detail. Okay. So what's next actually from the analyzing each step, the coffee shop actually can identify opportunity to improve quality from the sourcing bin just now, streamlining the process, right? We look at from the high level, zoom down to the bottom line, right? So streamline the process and also enhance customer experience. Okay, so how to make it better? Customer feel good, right? So that's the main thing. Okay, so we see what type of elements that we can put in, especially on the procurement, right? So how to add value in procurement? So negotiating pricing, locating a vendor location, right? So we look into this as a smart decision maker and good relationship to create value in this step. Okay, so next from technological development, what are the process to manage information, right? So we look into securing database, accessing information from the technological corps, right? So stay up to date with the technology innovation, right? So all this might be from missionary itself. We are, using high-end missionaries, might be the coffee the coffee makers, right? So from the old version, which is so slow, to a new version, right? So this one also is part of the technology that you are adapting to improve the value chain. Okay, from human resource, this one also important. This part of support element from the hiring, training, retaining, compensation of the employees, and also, we look into make our retaining, right? So how to retain the employees because sometimes they just come for 1 month, two, and then they just go. Why? Because of not happy with the, a lot of is it environment at work or even the compensation, something, right? So lastly, from the infrastructure, right? So how we want to use support system to maintain the business ability and also closing any gap in accessing the wastage and also any overlap or of the process, right? So all these that we need to review and add values in that particular steps, right? Okay, so now look into how value chain management can improve business. We have a lot of way, especially, right? So look into um, just now I did mention value chain is from the internal portion, right? So now we can look into the external portion, which is our stakeholders, right? So how to optimize the vendors and customers as well. right? So when the company effectively manage the flow of products and also sales, all these you get into the implementation in the company, from ideation, sometimes bottom up, open for bottom up, right? So our people at the bottom, maybe they have the ideas. So open, listen, give your ear, right? Give our ears, okay? From the research, maybe we need to have R&D, right? Research and Development Center, to do some research to make the product is what we call that competitive enough to the market, right? And operation itself, and also next from the global supply chain, inbound and outbound logistic, manufacturing, and so forth, right? So all these areas actually we can add values in our business. Okay, all right. So after the long explanation, now I want to gauge your understanding. Okay, last week I explained a lot on supply chain, and today is more towards value chain. All right, so there are two diagrams over here. So upper portion and bottom portion. If you can recognize, right? So the upper portion, is it supply chain or value chain? Anyone? You can check. Hmm? Value chain. Okay, brother Ita said value chain. Alright, so meaning that bottom portion is the supply chain. Is it correct? Yeah, good. A few said, which one is, I asked for the upper portion. Upper portion is talking about value chain. Oops, sorry. Okay, so this is where value chain put into the consideration, where customer first. You listen to the customer, you get the feedback from customer. We are customize the product to customer needs. That's value chain management. While supply chain management is you are not listening, but you just producing and you put the product in the market. Right, so either you might be like um, sort of old paradigm. Last week we have two, right? So new paradigm and old paradigm, right? So value chain is now talking about new paradigm. Okay, so in this era, so rather than we are producing mass production, just push everything to the market, right? So we are now taking into value chain management, whereby customer first. So that's why we are managing SRM. We are hearing customer requirement, then only we work backward. Right, so we have innovation, we have planning, innovation, and R&D, product development. Right. So this is based on the current era. Thank you for those that answering just now. Right. Okay. Now value chain from Islamic perspective, right? So come back to procurement. What are the values that we can put into the from the Islamic standpoint, which is ethical sourcing, right? So procurement is talking about sourcing, how to ensure we are putting the values, the ethical values during the sourcing, right? So ensure fair trade practice, and that there is no lies in between, right? We need to avoid exploitation, right? So at this point, this is procurement part, right? Sometimes we need to really put somebody that with a very good character at this portion, because this can harm to conflict of interest, that kind of thing. So with ethical, with Islamic values that she has, actually they can do procurement in a good way, which is aligning to Islamic values, right? So secondly, from production, how we add values to production, which is halal, right? So now we are talking about halal production is everywhere. I come to that later. Ensuring not only the quality, waste also is part of the, because Allah says so, right? So we need to manage the waste, right? Last week, Prof. Suhaimi talking about, during Ramadan, a lot of wastage, food wastage, right? So all those are reflecting to our culture now, right? So how we want to overcome those, right? So this is where the values need to be in, right? From distribution standpoint, of course, the fair pricing, efficient logistic, the halal logistic as well, right? So how halal logistic coming in? I'm trying to writing paper on this, right? Inshallah, right? So responsible handling of the products to avoid wastage and also spoilage. This is talking about distribution, because sometimes come to us, we see the cane, right, is dented, all the stuff, right? So it's become a spoilage already. Okay, so marketing and sales. This is honesty, right? Honest advertisement. Don't overclaim. Sometimes we overclaim the product, sort of that product itself can cure everything, right? So all the what we call that, pharmaceutical products, or even um, simple made by somebody claim that okay, is it can cure your diabetes, can cure your high BP, can cure everything, sort of, right? So that's overclaiming. So we need to be honest on advertising. Okay, avoid misleading claim, and also building trust with the customer. See, this is the values that we need to put into marketing and sales. Human resource, of course, from the wages standpoint, right? And the safe working environment also need to be offered to our employees, to our staff, right? So, and also an opportunity of development, right? So career paths, right? So we cannot just you know um, uh, what we call human resource management, mainly related to retaining the employees, right? So how the career pathing, how development of the employees, right? So in order to be gaining for their career succession, right? Right. So in essence, actually, Islamic value chain management aim to create a system that not only economically viable, but also ethical sounds and also socially responsible, right? Contributing to well-being of individual and society as a whole. So if every business, Muslim business, um, adopting all these uh, what we call that value chain values, all those values, actually we are creating a very harmonious society, right? Okay, so just now once we're talking about halal, right? So I try to bring this into the picture more, right? So Muslim is very, very concerned on halal, right? So in Malaysia, we have halal certification body, which is under Department of Islamic Development Malaysia. We call it JAKIM, Jabatan Agama Islam Malaysia, right? So this body is to oversee Islamic affairs and also including the halal certification, right? So this is a main body, right? So halal is encompasses the all aspect of sanitation, right? Health and also protection. Okay, so in line with definition of halalan toyiban, which is the halal with priority, right? So all these areas being covered, not only for food, right? So from health, from protection as well. Okay, so when the term is used in relation to food, of course, we also we only if we zoom to food, the halal food, right? So in Malaysia, whatever called as halal or guaranteed halal or Muslim food, that one is, of course, not a certain animal, right? So they are is halal, right? So um, it's not only assumption, but we are supposed to be, right? So come back to this, actually in Malaysia also we have this kind of buy Muslim first, which is priority to buy, to consume Muslim product first, as in order. Um, okay, why we launched this? Actually, in the past, we launched in back to 2019. What sometimes, right? In the past, sometimes non-Muslim producer they are creating fake halal logo, right? So this the logo is Ha Lam Alif Lam. They just create fake to their products, while their product is not purely halal, right? So this buy Muslim first actually to counteract all those. So now, meaning that Muslim in Malaysia, right? So they have a platform, right? It's a platform. They can use this platform, business platform already. So that means consumers, Muslim, they know already, okay, buy Muslim first, right? So with the logo of buy Muslim first, this is your priority in selection, right? Because we know already is halal. Okay, right. So it's being produced in the halal way. It's being what we call that. It's being printed as well on the halal. Right. Okay. The obligation to pay zakat, because we know that in Muslim we are guided for zakat. Regardless if we are not in business, we are working as a IUM staff. We also paying zakat, right? And also another portion if we are infaq, right? So there are several things mentioned in Quran related to infaq, right? So whereby we encourage to spend, right? And to treat for those not spend their wealth. If we are not giving, we also being treated while we are not giving for our wealth, right? So all this being spelled out clearly in the Quran, right? So now come back to why buy Muslim first, because product for Muslim is very certain already on the halal status. No question asked, right? Okay, so regarding halal toibans, actually why at the end of the day we want to boost economy for Muslim, right? Then by raising a higher economy for Muslim, we can pay more zakat, more infaq, that helping our Muslim society, right? Okay, right. So if we see now, not only from very silo, which is value chain from Islamic perspective, right? So actually, value chain is already enhanced. We can see from Muslim fashion itself, from the jilbab, from the what we call that, the tudung, the jilbab, the fashion, Muslim fashion is now very well keep growing. And talking about how to the aurat properly, right? So all this
Sorry, Dr.
has been
Siti.
growing. Yes.
Sorry, Dr. Siti, you have like 5 minutes. Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay. All right. So not we can see not only from food and drinks, right? Even pharmaceutical, cosmetic. We also put the halal values, put the values, Islamic values into those, right? And we printed as halal, which is especially from Muslim products, from the media, recreation, tourism itself, right? All these actually economy Muslim will be growing. So do support Muslim products, right? Okay. Okay. So all in all, actually, is the final one, right? So we need to summarize it, right? So those actually from the perspective of SRM and also the sourcing, actually we can relate them into how the Makhasidah, right? Makhasidah Asyariah pillars, right? We are talking about protecting the deen, which is our compulsory to do everyone, right? So whereby Allah say, "O mankind, each of what it is in the earth lawful, and good, and do not follow the footsteps of Satan, right? Surely he is manifest for you, right? This one is Al-Baqarah, right? So talking about protection of life, if a nas, right? Our nas. Okay, in Bahasa Malaysia, we call nafsu, right? So, which encourage business to serve product and service that are not only the best to eat class, but also halal for Muslim consumer, right? And protection to intellect, right? So this is another, which is you use akli, your akal, right? So in Bahasa Malaysia, which is God has ennobled all humans by our very nature. We enjoy a unique position among His creation, right? Okay, so next, talking about the protection of posterity, right? Which is the future generation, right? So next is on the wealth. This is where Islam encouraged to work, not only to pray, right? Not only to pray or doa, we need to work, right? Sort of you want to die to lifelong forever, and right, so production and also earning money or other property by lawful means, right? Okay, um okay, give me 1 minute, right? So I try to from the Maqasid Syariah pillars, from the sourcing standpoint. So I try to make a framework from marketing standpoint. How we put our ladders, our pillars just now, which is protection of life, is the input, right? So how marketing need to analyze who and what to analyze, right? And marketing selection, right? So all these, and also who or what how we want to go after, right? So all this is values, right? So we need to put in, which is protection of intellect, marketing mix, and also customer acquisition, all the stuff which I explained last week, right? So all this we need to combine, and the output of this, actually we are protection of our wealth, right? So all the values we govern into Islamic values, and the wealth that we are getting is very halal ready, inshallah, right? So the values that who we are serving to is a future, right? Protection of posterity, right? So, and all in all this framework actually govern that we are protecting our religion, which is our deen. Okay, right. So I end my presentation. Thank you so much for listening. Actually, one more. This one can be just written. Okay,
Okay.
I open for any question.
Questions. Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Siti Mariam, for that insightful and comprehensive, actually, presentation on supplier relationship management and strategic sourcing from an Islamic perspective. So, I do love and enjoying your lectures today, but there is several questions need to be asked. So, one of it is, you highlighted several Islamic principles in supplier relationship management, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dr. Siti? Okay. So, which of these
Yes.
principles which of these principles do you think is most critical in maintaining long-term partnerships?
Okay. If only one, which is ethical, right? So because ethical will govern a lot of elements under ethical, be it trust, it come under ethical, right? So uh, sort of ethical is the main values that we are looking into, because it come with our we come to here, right? So okay, right? So if we are ethic enough in sourcing our need, we are talking about halal items. We are also try to avoid those, unlawful with in terms of honest, in terms of trust. All these are ethic, right? So how we want to set the wages, also ethic, right? So ethical is the only things govern a lot of elements under that. Yeah, inshallah.
And in Islamic preschool. Oh, okay. Yeah. And then I also very excited to see one of the slides where you mentioned about buy Muslim first, isn't it? It's like initiative you share. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And then what one of the question is, could you give like one example of how it has positively impact the Muslim economy?
Right. Okay. So actually, by Muslim Prayer, I mentioned is quite sometimes since
Mm,
2019. In fact, before COVID-19, right, which is
mm-mm,
global impact from that, right. So
mm-mm,
this by Muslim First already being launched quite
mm-mm,
sometimes, and now the thing is in the market, even as a Muslim, we
mm-mm,
actually there is a selection of items if you want to buy at the rack, right, in the retail shop. So we are not saying that among the three selection that you have, right? So might be we are very concerned on the halal, right? Especially food lah.
mm-mm.
If I take the food, right? So all these you see the ingredients, all those lah. So the things that halal printed, this is your eye. I can see. That's mean trigger you. Oh, this one is halal, of course, right? So you will take that one as your first priority, and they are coming from Muslim manufacturer, right? So
Mhm.
in other way, the manufacturer actually getting the profit. They are getting building their economy better and better, right? So and it linked back to the zakat, right? So every year we are being enforced. Muslim enforce us to pay zakat and also infak, right? So zakat is the must, right? So infak is part of it is a requirement if you have extra, right? So zakat is a must, right? So this zakat actually one they cum, so the number, the amount is big. So actually it helps in the society, helping the society in poor, and in fact we are going broader, not only covering Malaysia sites, right? So we are also go for abroad with the zakat what amounts, right? So we go abroad. So all this actually we instead of not only helping Muslim in the country, but we also helping Muslim from other country, right? So that's the best part lah, right? So if every country, or even though we are doing the same thing, I believe so. Muslim will be in terms of economy, we will be you know might
Yeah,
be
that's
able to
true.
conquer the world. Why not, right?
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
inshallah.
that's really
Right,
great,
inshallah.
inshallah. Alhamdulillah.